I have some definitions of addiction, and the one I like is by Morse and Flavin, and it says addiction is a primary, progressive, chronic disease with genetic, psychosocial and environmental factors influencing its development and manifestations. The disease is often progressive and fatal. It's characterised by impaired control over use of the substance, preoccupation with the substance, adverse consequences and distortions in thinking. And this to me captures what addiction is. And my personal belief is that it is a disease, and I would work from a basis of the disease model. And when we think of disease, we often think of measles or some sort of infection or something, when actually if we break that word up, it's simply dis-ease. The person is not easy and is not at ease. And so that certainly applies to addiction. Some other definitions are it's a chronic relapsing disease characterised by compulsive drug seeking and drug use and by neurochemical and molecular changes in the brain. And if we look at the origins of the word, it's a Roman word and it actually means slave. And the galley slaves in the big Roman ships were chained in the basement and forced to row, and they were called addicts. And it actually means surrender to a master. And again, something interesting to consider is what I'm explaining suggests that someone has no choice if they're in the grip of an addiction, and yet there is a huge argument that says we all have choice, and I would argue that, but I would hope that the work I do with Lucy and the work and support that's available within addiction affords someone the choice, but I actually don't think that choice is available in the middle of an addiction. A more personal definition, I guess, that I like of addiction is it's never being able to get enough of something that you don't want. And when you listen to the session with Lucy, I think that message comes across very clearly, in that her life was really difficult and really painful, and yet she couldn't stop. So in the end, her addiction wasn't something that's done for pleasure. It was done simply because she had no control over it. But possibly my favourite definition is that addiction is simply a desperate lack of love. And whether or not that's external love or internal love, it really doesn't matter. But I think that definition encapsulates exactly what addiction is.